Now, 4 paintings by the Renaissance artist Antonello da Messina have been stolen from a museum in Sicily. The thieves managed to break in to the Interdisciplinary Regional Museum in the city of Messina overnight and remove the artworks from a reinforced display case. Now, they include 3 of the 5 panels of the 15th century San Gregorio altarpiece. The alarm system was not triggered, and investigators are working on the initial suspicion that perhaps the paintings were stolen to order. The thieves carrying out the heist did so amid a festival, bringing thousands of people to the city. Well, let's bring in now an art theft expert and investigator, Anthony Amore. Good to have you with us on the programme. You know, I'm not an expert in these things, but it seems quite a brazen theft, particularly when it was on the same day as a festival, lots of people in the city. So does this theft surprise you? What do you make of the MO here?
Well, you make a good point about the celebration in the city. I would say that none of these thefts surprise me anymore. I've been looking at them for 21 years now, and they never seem to cease. Although I would say that with the celebration in the city, that's not all that unusual. Oftentimes, big heists, not just of museums, coincide with holidays or some other major event that might draw police attention elsewhere.
So perhaps when authorities were looking the other way might be one line of inquiry here. You know, what did stick out to me was that just a few days ago, we were hearing about Italy celebrating the recovery of 3 masterpieces which were stolen from a museum near Parma. Now we've got another big art theft. So, you know, what do you think? Are we seeing a rise in high-profile art crime?
Well, first, let me say I'm with you. You know, I had no sooner hit send on a Substack article I wrote when I heard that this theft had occurred in Sicily.
Oh.
But I will say that, you know, ever since the heist at the Louvre last October, that has served as a really strong news hook, and people are paying more attention to museum heists. But for those who aren't in my field, what you should know is that these things happen all the time. And it's a good reminder to support your local cultural institutions so that they can provide first-rate security for these priceless treasures.
That's a really interesting point that you make. You know, one thing that did occur to me, though, is that we are living in an ever more surveilled world, whether that's CCTV, facial recognition, and so on. So why do you think these museums and galleries still appear to be vulnerable?
You know, every place that has valuable items is a target, and they're all vulnerable. There is no such thing as 100% security, and there are a lot of museums, especially in Italy. So defenses can keep improving, but thieves will always try to find a way to beat them. I will say, though, that these technologies that you just aptly mentioned will be used by the authorities to try to track down who these thieves were, just as they were to solve the theft in Parma, which came to a happy conclusion recently. The Carabinieri in Italy are the best in the world, in my estimation. So they'll use the tools that you just described to try to track down these thieves.
I mean, we don't know what the motive is here, but again, one of the lines of inquiry was reported to be that this could have been an ordered theft. These are really valuable works of art. So, you know, I just wonder, in terms of selling them on, surely if they're recognizable, would that not make them harder to sell? You know, I'm not trying to put ourselves in the position of the thieves here, but what would they hope to gain from stealing such recognizable pieces?
Well, money. And I think that I'm grateful to the BBC because you always give attention to these heists. And the more attention they get and the more that these images are broadcast, the more difficult it is to sell them. Now, I will clarify, though, when you say stolen to order, that might be something different than the general public thinks of. They often think of some Dr. No figure who's out there who covets these pieces for his personal collection. If it's stolen to order, it's more like some gang boss says, take these things. They can be valuable to us in terms of a get-out-of-jail-free card or used as collateral in the drug trade. That would be much more common than would be some billionaire who wants them for himself.
Fascinating, and we will have to see where this investigation leads. In the meantime, art theft expert and investigator Anthony Amore, really good to get your insights. Thanks for being with us.